Hey guys, it's TheGameFace here and welcome back to episode 34 of my Juventus career mode, and today I've got the last 9 hours of the transfer deadline day to complete. And before we get into this episode though, remember if you do have any questions for the Q&A, which will be out soon for 2,000 subscribers, which we'll be hitting shortly, then please go leave them in the comments and I will be responding to them in a video, like I say, when we get a bit nearer to 2,000 subs. But yeah, let's get into this episode. I've again looked at your suggestions in the comments, and there's some actually really good ones. There's some players I think I am really interested in, but it's difficult really when you've got such a good team. If I put out my starting 11 here so you can see, I was kind of looking as to where I could improve, but if I'm honest, the players that you've suggested are really good, but I don't know where they'll get into the team. It's a nightmare because I wanted to get Isco or Ozil, but if I get those, then that means Vidal, Pogba or Tevez will have to be moved around. So it's a really tricky one. There's also Roberto Firmino that I was looking at as well, and you can't really put those sort of players on the bench, which is obviously a bit of the downside to that. So I'm not really 100% sure who I'm going to get. I was pretty happy with the signing of Donsa actually in the previous episode, really happy with that signing, even though I probably overpaid slightly. But I'm really struggling, to be honest, to know where to upgrade in the team, because I feel as if we do have quite a good team, to be honest. I'm thinking maybe do I put Pirlo onto the reserves and I sign another centre mid that's fairly happy to go on the bench. So I'll have a little look around. It might be that I do sign Isco, maybe even Witsel as well, he was suggested. So I'll be back in a minute once I've decided fully. Okay, so here is Isco. I think we did have a look at him before at the start of the season maybe, and he was one that we looked at and realised he was quite expensive. The reason why I do like him quite a lot is because he can play in so many different positions. It's brilliant to have someone like that in the team, and he's obviously really young and a good overall. So if we were to sign him, it would have to be as part of a trade deal with somebody else, and the obvious player for me is Vidal, but Vidal's actually been really good this season, so it's a tricky one to know who to get rid of in the team, but I'll have to decide. I'm tempted maybe Kovacic to be one of the players I get rid of, but really we've got such a good team here that it's so tricky. But I am going to put Kovacic in the deal, 8 million, and then we're going to go 14 and see what they say to that as an initial offer. We've obviously can go up slightly more because we're putting in Kovacic as part of the deal, and if I check how much he is on, he should be on a fair amount, to be honest. He should be on quite a bit, Kovacic. He's on 70, so that means I can put down the wage to 40 grand, and that frees us up even more money. So I might actually change the offer thinking about it, because it's probably going to get rejected. So we'll try changing the offer now, and we'll move up to, Kovacic is worth 8, so we'll move it up to 17.9, and then we'll put Kovacic in there. That should be enough really. It's a good offer, that one, and it'll be a bit harsh on us, I think, if they do reject it. But we'll also have a look at other players as well, because the likelihood is they probably will be a bit harsh on us and reject it. So we'll look at Oscar. Can he play centre mid maybe? No, he can't, and he's going to be even more anyway, so we won't be able to get him. Witsel was someone I was also told to potentially get as well. I quite like Witsel, but I don't know whether he's a little bit old maybe. Witsel is 27, which isn't as old as I thought, but he actually looks like a really good player. I mean, look at those stats. And I've obviously got him on my Belgium side of things as well, on the international team that I've got, so it'd be quite nice to manage him. It looks like a very good player. I do like him playing for Belgium as well, so we aren't going to put in a bid for him. We're going to put Kovacic as part of the deal. It's not going to be as much as I just put in to try and sign Isco, but Kovacic is worth 8, so we're going to go with 10 million on top of that, which I know you're probably thinking is a lot. It's a few million more than what the chief executive was saying, but I think I just want to make sure I get Witsel, especially when his value is 20. I feel that it's probably best to just put in a bid that's maybe slightly over the estimate. Another player was Roberto Firmino. I don't know why he's not being scouted. Surely he's good enough. But his positions are really in that sort of similar position to Dybala and Tevez. So sadly I won't be able to get him on this one. And I'm trying to think if there was anybody else suggested. I don't think there was. So we'll see how we get on with those bids. And maybe I was tempted also by Musonda as well. But we don't necessarily have to buy someone in this transfer window, to be honest. It was just a suggestion if there was anybody that you felt I needed. Okay, I'm also going to put in another bid actually and see what they say to this. Chiellini, I know he's a big Juventus player that a lot of people like, but he's also 31 years old now. And I know it's not particularly old, but for me it is quite old for the players that I tend to have in my team. So I've decided I might put a trade deal on the table there for them. He's worth 20.5 million, and they're saying Otamendi's probably worth around 26.9. So I think we'll put in 7 million on top of that and see what they say to it. Hopefully they accept that and it's a good enough offer. And I think that's probably everyone I'm going to put in bids for just now. And potentially, if we can't get anybody else, then we might have to look at some more pre-contract agreements and getting players cheaper from that. But I think that's going to be it for the bids I'm putting in. I was tempted to actually get rid of Carvajal. I couldn't find any replacements for him, so I might have to have another look now. No, sadly I've not been able to find any replacements that I like the look of. The only reason why I was tempted about replacing Carvajal is because he's not really grown as I had hoped. So I was tempted to get rid of him and maybe try and get someone else that grows a little bit more. So I have kept him just for now. Maybe someone I try and get rid of at the end of the season. I know I've only recently just signed him. But wait, what's happening here? Why am I not finding out about the transfers? Ooh. Oh, here we go. I was going to say I thought he'd done something then where it wasn't telling me them. Oh, Isco have rejected it, but Zenit have accepted the offer. That's good. I wasn't really expecting them to. I'm going to find another 17 grand hopefully in the wage. And yeah, this is looking pretty good at the moment. I'll put him as a crucial. I'm thinking he'll only join for crucial first team player. But he's probably going to be maybe a bit of a rotational player, so more of an important first team player than a crucial, but we are going to go crucial anyway, just to make sure that he does sign. Hopefully he'll sign on that. Obviously Isco's not going to join by the looks of it. It's clear that Real Madrid aren't too bothered about the bid we put in. And hopefully we're going to get the other signing as well. Yes, they accepted it for Chiellini. It's a bit of a risk. Maybe I should have asked you guys before I put in this bid, but it's something I just randomly thought of. I do quite like Otamendi, so hopefully it's a good enough trade. It was just something I felt I wanted to do, to be honest. So hopefully that's going to be a good deal. Hopefully we've got enough money to do it. Oh wow, we've not even found out about the other one. De Gea. We've got a bid from Porto, 28.5. It's very last minute. Obviously, I'm going to reject it. I mean, there's no point in looking at that sort of offer, to be honest. Nowhere near good enough, and especially with a little amount of time left. It's a big one. Hopefully, you guys agree. Oh, but wait. Am I going to have enough money to sign the other player? Yes, I am. Yes, I think I've got just enough money. Okay, so I'm going to accept that. Goodbye, Chiellini. It's been good. I want to start something a little bit different in the defence by signing Otamendi. Hopefully it's going to be a good signing. Goodbye. Enjoy Valencia. I'm kind of surprised at myself that I've kept him that long, to be honest. I don't usually do that, but I know that he's obviously a big favourite with many people. And we've managed to sign Witsel as well. Hopefully I got the maths right. Yes, I did. Get in. Right, now we're going to sign Witsel as well, which was suggested in the comments. But I think it was the Dodger, but it'll be on screen anyway if I was wrong with saying that. And we do have only a little bit of money left over, which is fine because we're obviously not going to sign anybody else. And that is it for the transfer window. We've managed to sign everyone that we were after. Witsel, and we've also signed Otamendi as well, which is two really good signings, considering I didn't have loads of money to spend. There you go, 97 million was spent across all the leagues on the transfer deadline day, and we will continue to sim to the AC Milan semi-final. Okay, this is the Tim Cup semi-final, so I'm going to put out my strongest team really. We're going to put De Gea in net. Otamendi's going to start alongside Varane, I think. Carvajal's going to start with Marcelo. I'm actually going to replace Pogba with Witsel, just for this game to try him out, and then Depay will start. Tevez will also start, Sterling will, and so will Benteke. I'll change the bench slightly, put a bit of a better bench on there. I think we'll put Gaia on the bench, Pogba will go on there as well. I'll put Donso on the bench just in case we're winning and I feel like bringing him on. And I think Rosenberg, do I put him on the bench? I can't remember, did I sign him on a permanent deal or not? I can't remember. But yeah, I think we'll go with that. We'll keep Coman on the reserves just for now, because I might want to bring on Rosenberg at some point in this game. And let's see how we get on. Hopefully I can get a win and get into the final. Here we go, Tevez is on the run. Alex is trying to catch up to him. Tevez 1-0, brilliant start, 3 minutes in, and we're already winning. Brilliant start to this game. Hopefully we can get a few more. He managed to outrun Alex, and then from there he just managed to slot it home past the keeper, and Diego Lopez, I think that was, couldn't get to it. Brilliant finish, and we're winning 1-0. Torres on the ball here, and Otamendi with his first touch, I think, there for Juventus. Depay's still going. It's Depay. Fake shots. Left foot, Depay. Go on. Oh, he's hit the post. How did that happen? Oh my god, he hit the post. Tevez through to Benteke. It's a good run from Benteke and a good ball from Tevez. Benteke to finish it. 2-0. Just before the 20-minute mark. And we are thrashing Milan here so far. We've played around them very nicely. And Tevez there and Benteke links up very well. Good touch from Benteke. Managed to obviously run past Alex with ease and slotted it home. Similar to the Tevez goal actually, around about 15 minutes ago. And it's now 2-0. Oh no, Torres is in there. He's hit the bar. And Honda just heads wide. How did he manage that? I don't know what happened there. But they should have scored. We're being let off there. Honda to take it. Can we head it away? Hopefully. It's gone to the back post. And Otamendi heads it out very well there. Means Benteke can go on a run. He's waited for Sterling on the counter-attack here. Benteke, 3-0. Brilliant stuff. Otamendi started it. And Benteke and Sterling finished it off on the counter-attack. 3-0 it is now. And Diego Lopez couldn't save that one, even though it was pretty much hit straight down the middle of the goal. And it is 3-0. And that is it for the first half. We are winning 3-0. A very good first half. Actually played very well, as you can see by the scoreline. And Witsel and Otamendi have both been really good. Something I am going to hopefully try and improve on is that awful possession again. But we are going to keep things the same. Just hopefully keep more of the ball this time. Benteke to fake shot inside. Still on the run. Benteke saved by Diego Lopez and out for a corner. We're going to do the short one this time just to kind of change things up a little bit. Depay to put in a ball. Varane's in there off the bar. We don't usually get anywhere with headers. Or corners, should I say. And we have just about got a throw in, I think, there. Can he jump up there and get there? He has done. Witsel to shoot. Oh, what a goal from Witsel, the new signing. What a suggestion that was. Thank you very much. And we are now winning 4-0. Brilliant strike. I didn't know whether we would get anywhere with that shot. I thought it was going to hit the bar again, to be honest, but it dipped brilliantly into the top left-hand corner. And it's now 4-0. What a thrashing and what a strike that one was. No stopping that. I've kind of forgotten to make some changes and there's 8 minutes to go, so I'll make them now. I'll take off Vidal and bring on Donsa. Take off Varane just to kind of protect him. Bring on Devin. And bring on Rosenberg and take off Benteke. Hopefully that's going to work out. It's only 8 minutes to go. Hopefully I can try and get the ball out now. That's going to be the biggest issue, I think. Donsa on a bit of a run here. He's got quite far, actually. Oh, gets wiped out. Rosenberg recovers the attack, and he looks to be injured. Yeah, I think he is. He might have to... oh, he won't be able to be taken off because we've obviously done all our changes now. There's only 5 minutes left, so he should be okay. Wow. Oh my god, I hope you saw that. De Gea, what a save. Wasn't expecting it. It just came out of nowhere. It was a save onto the bar, I think, maybe. What reflexes there from De Gea. Absolutely brilliant stuff. And we've got it out. We've won 4-0. What a win against AC Milan. Supposedly one of the better teams in the league. But we have managed to thrash them fairly easily. We've managed to up the possession slightly, but not really that much, to be honest. But again, another good performance. Happy about that. I think we should be into the final now. I don't think there's a second leg because we just won there. I'm hoping we're now into the final. Dennis Rossi isn't happy with his role at the club. Can't really expect any more than that, to be honest, with De Gea in front of him as the number 1. I also decided to scout Musonda because he can kind of grow quite a lot, so we'll have to see. He's 75 overall, which isn't too bad. I know he's only 22, but he does grow really well sometimes, so I just thought I'd keep an eye on him, but not someone that I'll be signing anytime soon. So let's see. I've got my next game against Genoa, I think it is. So 9 points in front of Roma at the moment, which is really good. We are actually going to sim this game because it is a home match and one that we probably should win. We're going to put Varane onto the bench. We will probably rest Tevez, I think. In fact, no, we'll rest Witsel and bring on Pogba. And then what we'll also do is bring on Dybala, put him in behind Benteke. And anybody else that looks really tired, Sterling does a little bit, so we'll bring on Berardi to replace him. And I think on the bench we will have Sterling instead of Rosenberg, and I think we'll have Pirlo instead of Doncer. Hopefully we can get a win. It is going to be a sim match, and I think that might actually be it for this episode as well after this, because we have obviously made those transfers, so we've gone into the episode a little bit more than I'd have liked to. But let's sim this game and see how we get on. Look at that formation. It's a really strange 4-3-3. Those 3 centre mids are not spread out whatsoever. We should hopefully get through that midfield quite nicely. I bet you Dempsey scores against us. I'm sure he always scores against me. Dybala gets the first goal though, 21 minutes in. They do get a booking a minute later. Nearly into the second half now, and it's still 1-0. Tevez gets brought on, Benteke off. Perotti gets brought on. Carvajal gets booked, hopefully he stays on the pitch. There's 15 minutes left, Sterling on. Berardi off, 5 minutes to go. Depay gets the second to secure the win. And Dempsey didn't score, luckily for me. So we did win 2-0. A decent win that one, kept a clean sheet, which I also like to try and do as much as possible. And Paul Pogba wants to discuss wages. Now I've got no money, he wants to discuss wages, typical. Now his signing on fee is 130 grand, and he wants an extra 20 grand a week. I've got the signing on fee, but I've only got 18 grand, and I know he's not going to accept that. If I'm honest with you though, I am tempted to actually get rid of him, and I know he's a big player in real life for Juventus, but he might actually be leaving in real life for Juventus. It looks like he probably will be, but the reason why I'd get rid of him on here is simply because he's actually just not being good enough for me in games. So I've decided that I will probably get rid of him next season. You can see by the appearances and goals how much he actually does for me. He doesn't do a lot really. So I am going to offer him the new contract, but if he rejects it, like I think he will, it's not a huge problem if he decides to go in a bit of a moan about not being given his wages, because to be honest with you, I'm probably going to get rid of him at the end of the season, sadly. But we are going to sim on to the next game. I think it's against Roma. We don't have time to play that one, unless, could we sim it maybe? I'd rather play it, to be honest, against Roma. We are going to play it in the next episode. And let's see what's being said here. Let's get rid of all those. About that new contract, I need to tell you something important. Thanks for the offer. I'm not something I want to commit myself to. I'm going to decide where I want to play my football in the near future. I'll get back to you. So he seems a little bit uncertain at the moment, Pogba, which is fine. Dybala's saying thanks, which is good. And that is going to be it for this episode, guys. If you have enjoyed this, then please give a like and subscribe. That'd be really appreciated. And I'll see you guys next time. Just to let you know, normal games will resume as of next episode. So there'll be no like transfer window and things. So I should be putting maybe 4 or possibly even 5 games into one episode, hopefully. So that'll continue from next episode. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.